welcome to another edition of MIW. Got the D-Man here, and I'm glad you could join me. Got lots of good stuff today out of the book, Be the A-Hole That Women Can't Resist by Corey Smith. Today we are on location 313. And remember to hit that like and subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this with a friend if it is of value to you and you think it may help them. There's a lot of guys out there that need help. I understand. I've been there. So I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you something of value that you can use out there in the real world. But you got to get out there. You can't sit there on your Xbox or your computer watching Pornhub or whatever. That's not going to get you the woman you want. You got to be somebody to have something. If you want what you've never had, you have to be willing to do what you've never done. Or to have what other people don't have, you have to do what other people don't do. All you have to do is do it. Everyone is afraid. I understand that. I have fear too. The difference between a coward and a hero is the hero faces his fear, he confronts it. The coward walks away to live another day in shame and fear. And who's ashamed of him? Himself. All right? Himself. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. It matters what you think of you. And every time you take action in the direction of your goals and your dreams, you feel better about yourself. Every time you shrink back and don't do what you know you need to do, you feel worse about yourself. Thus, you have a choice. Actions for high self-esteem, inactions for low self-esteem. And how you feel about yourself is what you feel like you deserve from the world. The universe, the world, God, higher power, divinity, whatever you like to call it, will only give you what you feel like you deserve. Everything you want is there. The woman you want is there. Okay, think about this. You see this beautiful girl, and you know a little bit about her. She's like upper class. You're thinking, okay? If you don't feel like you're on a higher level than she is, or at least the same level, you don't feel like you deserve her. You think, why would she want anything to do with me? There you go right there. That's a low status man. But who made him low? Who makes him low status? He does it to himself. So how do you become high status? How do you become a man with high self-esteem? A man who values himself? By doing things a man that values himself does. And every time you do that, every time you confront a fear, every time you face a challenge, even if you fail, you feel like more of a man. You prove to yourself. What did Muhammad Ali used to say? I'm going to show you how great I am. Yeah, he said that over and over. Even though people would badmouth him for it, ridicule him for it, say he was mouthy, he talked too much. And look, who is considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all times today? Muhammad Ali. There you go. He told himself, he told it, he spoke it enough times with enough emotion, fearlessly, that he came to believe it, and thus it became a reality in his life. What are you saying about yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? No one will ever treat you in any way other than how you feel about yourself. We teach people how to treat us. Remember that. We teach people how to treat us. So if someone is treating you badly, you have somehow brought that onto yourself because you feel like you deserve that. All right? That's why men, so many times, that's why we have this simp nation, so many times tolerate bad behavior from a girl because they think she's better than them. They would never tolerate such behavior from a friend. The friend wouldn't be friends anymore. But they continue to tolerate that because they pedestalize women. Okay, especially in Western society. Women want equal rights, as I've said before. They want to be equal to every man other than the man they're with, other than the man they're in love with. Okay, if you allow that woman to, to treat you like you are less than, the clock is ticking. Until she's gone, or she's got another man she's sleeping with while you're not there. So either way, you brought this on yourself. So you're responsible for everything that happens to you in your life. You can take the actions to change what you're experiencing right now, but it begins with you. It begins inside of you. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. You have to do them yourself. And with that being said, we shall. First, if you want to get my help personally, and I love to help people, that's why I'm doing this, you can contact me at marksinspirationalguidance@gmail.com. Let's go with a book. Okay. Trust body language with women. Watch what she's doing, how she's acting. Her words are not nearly as important as how she is, how her body language speaks louder than her words. It's like the old saying, what you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying. Okay, above all, trust honest signals, micro expressions. Watch her eyes, her mouth. Does she have some nervousness there? Is she shy, or is she like disinterested? All these things can be read in the body language. MLD, Modern Life Dating, has a body language mastery course. I highly recommend that you take that. I have not taken it, but I've talked to this man. I think I've used some of his materials. I've watched his YouTube videos. This guy, I've watched him interview girls, so that's how I know he knows what he's doing. I mean, he has a skill. He interviewed a Miss America, I think it was. If you could get a chance, if I had the link, I would give it to you. Watch that. Watch how she, I mean, he's got her. He's got her. By the end of the interview, he has her. Actually, I think she was supposed to be interviewing him. That was it. But in reality, he turned it around and he was interviewing her. So that's John at Modern Life Dating. He's pretty crude and rough, but he tells you like it is. And that's what a lot of you guys need to hear. You don't need to be coddled. You don't need to be babied. You need someone to tell you how it is. Forget this idealistic Cinderella happily ever after, because that's not true. You can live happily ever after, but a girl's not going to do that for you. You have to create that world within yourself, dependent on no one but yourself and your beliefs, your higher power, God, divinity, whatever works for you. You can never be dependent on other people in respects to your center. You have to be centered in yourself. We are all dependent on other people for our success, but not in the way where you're crushed if one of them walks out of your life or lies to you or cheats you. All right. He goes on to talk about love. Okay. Only a mother's love is unconditional. The moment you cease to bring value to a girl, you will cease to exist in her eyes. And this is true. Men are loved for what they can do and what they can provide. Women and children are loved for who they are. Okay, that's a rough fact. Face it, it's true. Forget about the idealistic love that most of us men believe in. I believed in it at one time myself. Yeah, it's a crushing blow, but that's the way it is, okay? Be a man. That's your job. Mindset. I don't really care if I get her or not. Either way, I'm having fun and learning. Always enjoying, no fear of failure. I would say I understand what he means, but we all have a fear of failure, and it's normal. The difference is, in the successful man, he faces that fear, as I said before, and overcomes it. He confronts it. Either way, he confronts the fear. Whether he fails or succeeds in his endeavor, he faces and confronts the fear. He does not turn away. He does not walk away. He does not run away. Rejection may hurt more than hell itself, but it will teach you better than any book could ever. Never forget the experience and its lesson. And I'm going to tell you what, that is one of the truest statements I have ever read. I have learned more from my failures, and I have failed many times. My book's out. It's not out till October. I'm working on the cover now. They're editing it and formatting it. And if you want to read about a guy who had a lot of failures, that's me, all right? But I'm still here. I got back up. I started again. I failed more times than I can count. But from those failures, I have learned so much about myself and the reason why I failed. And sometimes I did the same thing over and over. I failed over and over at the same thing, trying it a little different each time, but still ending up failing. But each time I learned something. I learned because I was able to take the word blame out of my vocabulary. Now, my first impression, of course, is always blame because I'm angry, I'm hurt, whatever the situation may be, when I feel like someone, um, how do I say, didn't do me right. But I realize that's just a normal, emotional, angry reaction. And then once that passes, or once I get past that, I start looking within myself. How did I contribute to this? How did I create this situation so I could learn from it? 3 of my divorces, 2 of the women, or 3 of them, all run around on me because I was the good guy, okay? The provider, the guy that society tells you you're supposed to be. Okay, now I could easily blame them, and if I told you the story, you would say, "Oh, yeah, look at her, man. She was terrible to you, whatever, terrible woman." But where's that going to get me? Nowhere. I had to look within myself, and that's what you need to do. Look within yourself. How did you contribute? Why did you choose someone who was going to treat you that way and take advantage of you? You allowed them to do that. They didn't actually take advantage of you. You gave them the opportunity to do to you what you felt like you deserved. So the lessons there are very important. You learn so much from that because when we're in pain, we're looking for answers because we want to get out of the pain. And that's why I highly recommend, unless you're thinking about blowing your brains out, don't do a lot of drinking and drugging or go get some damn Thorazine or some of the other medications they give you. Work through that. Now, if you have to get something like that because you really just can't even move, you're so depressed, you want to blow your brains out, even if you take that, and some people need it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any doctorly advice. But if you do need to go that route, and some people do, work on yourself. Even if that gives you relief, still continue to work on yourself, because if you don't, you will end up back in that same situation again. You have to learn from these things because it begins inside of you and it ends inside of you. You are the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end of every situation that ever happens to you. Okay, signs she likes you. She tests you to see if you are truly are worthy of her or if you're just a sham. Are you really the confident guy that approached her? Are you the weak, needy beta male or simp? Let me see, okay. If you truly are worthy of her or if you're just a sham, lower with a cool guy mask. We all put on a mask of some sorts. I mean, women put on the mask of makeup plus a lot of other masks. No one, I mean, you can't go there with your true self. You're not going to go there and say, "Oh, my mama left me when I was a kid. My dad beat me." You don't want to say that stuff. That's not being real. You be the man that you are. But first you have to make yourself into the man you want to be, the kind of man that women are attracted to and other guys want to be like. Only you can do that, and you can do it, all right? The difference between intermediate PUAs, pickup artists, and advanced pickup artists is a set of internalized beliefs. Right there, he says it. Whether you're a pickup artist, whether you're a CEO of a multi-million or billion-dollar corporation, it's an internalized fact before it ever becomes a reality in the outer world. Just like this, everything you do is done within you first. You have to believe in yourself, you have to see it, you have to actualize it within you and think from the person you want to become to make it a reality, or what we call reality, in the outer world, to manifest, or however you want to say it, to create it, where you can actually see it in the physical world. The difference between beginners and intermediates is just a set of habits. Do you have success habits or do you have failure habits? Write down everything you do in the day. Is it successful habits or failure habits? I meditate, I read, I work on my own business, I lift weights, I was working on my book, I work on this YouTube channel, I have kids, I spend time with them, I Uber them around sometimes. So I have a very, very busy day. If I'm laying around not doing anything, it's because I need to relax and just let go of everything. I very seldom ever do that, but I do that sometimes because I feel myself exhausted. It's not the physical. I have a physical, my work is physical sometimes. Um, but that's not what wears a person out. It's the mental and the emotional exhaustion. Like I said, you can make a plan, but you have to remember when things aren't going the way you think they should, you have to let go of that. I'll give you an example. I was going to meet this chick, and actually, she was going to come up here from Colombia, South America, and she may still. She's got a visa. So I was going to bring her up here, and I can't find out whether, I looked all over the internet, I tried for about an hour, whether they're doing tourist flights out of the country or not. I know you can travel back and forth if you're a citizen of either country if you need to get back to your country. So I'm not sure about that. So I was really getting frustrated. So I thought, maybe I'm not supposed to know right now. Maybe the time is not right. So I just let it go. I'll contact her later. I'll bring her up later. Maybe in November things will be. And right now there's this COVID testing and all these things you got to do before you come. So when I find myself getting frustrated, you kind of sometimes got to just back off and let go. When you've done everything you can do, and which I did. I do have a friend that works for the airlines. I can contact him, and I'm not sure. He probably could tell me, but I'm not sure. But the point is, when you start getting really frustrated or you're pissing other people off, it's time to kind of step back and let it go for a little while. The difference between zeros and beginners is approach count. Women only want men that are better than them. Women date up. Men date down. What does that mean? Women usually go for a man that is higher status than them. Men will usually go for a woman that is a little lower status. That's just the way it is. Check it out. Look at the stats. Having higher social status is imperative. See yourself as possessing higher value. Once again, just like he says, you have to see yourself as possessing higher value. Okay? That's it for today, guys. Hope this has been of help to you. Share this with a friend. Smash that like button right now. Smash that button. And if you'd like to get my help personally, I'd love to help you. You can contact me at marksinspirationalguidance@gmail.com. Have a great day. Be cool.